Whenever we look up the geographical extent of the Mughal Empire, we always get images like these. Was this the true extent of the Mughal Empire? And if yes, then for how long? Let's find out. Immediately after defeating the Afghans and the Rajputs at Panipat and Kanwa respectively, Babur captured Ulwaranj and Dari. After that he set out on an eastern campaign against the Afghans, and after skirmishing and hotly pursuing them for over a year, finally defeated them at the Battle of Gagra. Afghan power was crushed, and Mughal Empire was extended till Bihar. Humayun's first challenge came at the Battle of Dadra against the Afghans. Next, the growing aggression of Gujarat compelled him to take action, and the Mughals successfully invaded Malwa and Gujarat, but were driven out within a year by mid-1536. During the same time, Sher Shah had risen in the east and taken the mantle of the Afghans, and so the Mughals marched against him and captured Gaur in Bengal, but like Malwa and Gujarat before, could not hold onto it. The Afghans took back Bengal and Bihar and soon defeated the Mughals in the battles of Chausa and Kannauj and drove them out to Kabul by the end of 1540. Thus began Humayun's exile, during which he lost the remainder of his empire in Afghanistan to his brothers, and after much effort took control of Kandahar in 1545. Next he took back control of Kabul. With his footing now secured and Sher Shah being dead, he marched back into India, defeated the Afghans in the battles of Machawara and Sirhind, and captured back Delhi and territory as far as Bayana. Akbar's long reign saw huge territorial gains for the Mughal Empire, either by sword or by diplomacy, but first he had to endure adversity which came in the form of a Hindu general of the Afghans named Haimu. Haimu captured Agra and Delhi and drove Akbar to Kabul. In late 1556, Akbar defeated Haimu at Panipat, winning back his territory, and also added Ulwar to it. Next 5 years saw further territorial gains in Multan, Ajmer, Gwalior, Jaunpur, and Chunar amongst a few losses. Next up were the successful campaigns in Malwa and Gondwana. These were followed by bloody siege and capture of Chittor in 1568. On the back of it, Ranthambore surrendered and Jodhpur, Bikaner and Jaisalmer entered into matrimonial alliances with Akbar. Conquest of Gujarat was also accomplished. Over the next few years Bihar was annexed, and Mughal authority was established in Bengal after they won the battles at Tukaroi and Rajmahal in 1575 and 1576 respectively, but this authority was partial. In the same year, Battle of Haldi Ghati was fought in which Mughals were victorious. Over the next decade many Mughal expeditions were sent to Mewar, but they were mostly failures. In 1581 Kabul was added back to the empire, but Budak Shan was lost to the Uzbegs in 1584. Next Kashmir was annexed, and Bengal was eventually brought under complete Mughal control. Akbar was finally able to seize control of Sindh after years of eyeing it with the successful siege of Sewan in 1591. Campaigns in Orissa were completed successfully, but like Bengal earlier it could only be brought under partial authority. Kandahar and Balochistan were annexed next. After decades of semi-successful campaigns into Deccan, Mughals finally gained a foothold there by the year 1601. Jahangir had seen the Mughal Empire reach its greatest extent under his father, and he was determined to make further additions to it. Kamrup was conquered in 1613, but no progress could be made against the Ahoms. Mewar was finally subdued in 1615 after multiple Mughal invasions. Some progress was made in Deccan, but it was soon reversed back. Taking advantage of the Mughal preoccupation with Deccan, Persians took back Kandahar in 1621. With the accession of Shah Jahan to the throne, the Mughal policy in Deccan became more vigorous, and Ahmednagar was annexed in 1633. Taking advantage of Mughal preoccupation elsewhere, Ahoms captured Kamrup from them. In response Mughals recaptured it and invaded the Ahoms, but were defeated and pushed back. In 1638, Shah Jahan bribed the governor of Kandahar who handed over the reins of the city to him. The Persians recaptured Kandahar in 1649, and Shah Jahan could not recapture it despite sending 3 separate campaigns. In 1657, Bidar was taken from Bijapur, making it the final territorial expansion of Shah Jahan's reign. The first half of Aurangzeb's reign is concentrated in the north of India, while the second half is focused entirely on the Deccan. Taking advantage of the Mughal War of Accession, Ahoms had driven them out from Kamrup. In response, Aurangzeb sent a huge army to get his regions back in late 1661, and Kamrup was taken back. Ahoms were successfully invaded, and their capital Gudgao was captured. But they took back all of their territory as well as Kamrup after a series of victories over the Mughals during the next 5 to 6 years. Around the same time, Mughals invaded the Maw kingdom and captured Chittagong. In Rajputana, Marwar was easily brought under Mughal control after the death of its king, but a guerrilla war continued. The rapid expansion of the Maratha Empire had made them a thorn in Aurangzeb's eye, and naturally a high-level conflict was imminent. Thus, taking advantage of Shivaji's death in 1680 and the subsequent confusion in the Maratha kingdom, the Mughals wrested control of some regions from them and later invaded and conquered Bijapur and Golconda too. Hence, by 1690, Mughal Empire was at its zenith under Aurangzeb. Over the next 17 years, Marathas and the Rajputs of Marwar continued to fight the Mughals with guerrilla tactics. The Marathas were successful in regaining their lost territory as well as some new regions from the Mughals. At the time of Aurangzeb's death, most of the regions were in rebellion against the crown. The empire was not helped by a succession of weak rulers and internal political tug-of-war. Just a few days after Aurangzeb's death, Marwar defeated the Mughals in battle and ousted them from their lands. Soon, other states in Rajputana followed. Sindh, which had already been given autonomy during Aurangzeb's reign, became completely independent after his death. Gujarat came under the control of Marwar and later separated from the Mughal Empire. Gondwana was never really under the Mughal control and shed any residual influence that they had. In the 1720s, Bengal and Awadh became virtually independent. Power in Rohilkhand was captured by the Afghans, Deccan became independent under Nizam, and Bundelkhand gained its independence, led by the legendary Chhatra Sal. Kabul and Balochistan were at first annexed by the Persians under Nadir, and later the Afghans, under Abdali, took over. Malwa came under the Maratha umbrella in 1741. During the 7 Abdali invasions, the Afghans captured some parts of Punjab as well as Kashmir in 1752. In the 1760s, the Sikh Empire captured almost the entirety of Punjab from the Mughals as well as the Afghans. By the beginning of the 19th century, Mughal power was confined within the walls of Delhi. The emperor, by now, was a puppet in the hands of the British. On 21 September 1857, the Mughal Empire officially ceased to exist. To summarize, any random number that gets thrown around as the number of years for which the Mughals ruled India does not hold ground. As we have now seen, no Mughal emperor ruled the whole of India, although their empire reached its zenith under Aurangzeb, which influenced virtually all of India. From Babur's establishment of his empire in India to Aurangzeb's death was clearly the period of glory for the Mughals. But even then there were kingdoms which were outside their reach and were never ruled by them. After this period, they were as influential as any other regional dynasty and were most certainly not ruling anything close to the whole of India. The remnants of the empire did survive till 1857, and many rulers succeeded Aurangzeb to the throne, whose names most have not heard of. Hence, the reality, as always, lies outside the periphery of social media echo chambers. We are working on bringing many more such stories to you in the future. Subscribe to our channel to not miss out on them. And consider liking and commenting on this video. Until next time.